Welcome to Fanboy Critic, where we go watch new movies out in theaters and give you our review, both the good and the bad. I'm Joe Mortiz and I'll be your fanboy.
And I'm Sam McClure, I'll be your critic. This week on Fanboy and Critic, we went to go see Shazam, starring Zachary Levi, but also Jamon Husu was in it. And, well, the directors you probably haven't heard of either. So, it's a pretty unknown cast and crew. Shazam is a DC superhero. It is about a child who basically gets superhero powers, like mostly Superman powers without like the laser vision. All right, Jay, pretty unknown directors and producing crew. What do you think they did well about bringing Shazam to the big screen and to the DC universe at large?
I think they brought something different for the DC universe. This is not going to be that dark film that DC usually throws at us. It was a lot different. There was a lot of jokes and they all hit. They were all really funny and the cast was awesome. I thought the kids that were involved in it were really good, and he just brought this story to life. I mean, how can you mess up a film where a kid becomes a superhero? They took that to their advantage, and I feel like everything they did as he was a superhero was exactly what a kid would do. I didn't really like Shazam's suit, but overall, you get past that throughout this movie. The cast did a terrific job. They were all really good. I have no complaints. It was a fun movie. A lot different from what you expect from DC.
Yeah, it's definitely a departure from DC's usual stuff. I would say that it's a lot more lighthearted and fun and more Marvel-esque, I would say.
Yeah.
They definitely bring some comedy, and Zachary Levi knocks it out of the park. I do think that suit is ridiculous. It's hard to see past, and I think the bad guy is really forgettable in general. Like Shazam has some good bad guys, like Black Adam, for example, and it's just the bad guy. I don't even know his name, to be honest. And
yeah, Dr. Something.
He was all right. I mean, he was fun, but kind of shallow, just like most of the DC villains that we've seen in some of the more mainstream movies. To be honest, it's one of the better DC movies as far as the plot and story and characters are thought out. But it's not up there with most of the great Marvel movies either.
Oh, do I have to convince you guys to go watch this movie?
You have to convince people to go watch Shazam. Go convince the critics.
Critics, you're gonna go watch this movie just because it's another DC or comic book movie. I mean, you've watched all the DC crap that you didn't like before. What's gonna stop you now? But definitely you wanna watch this movie just because they're heading in a good direction. I mean, Wonder Woman was pretty good, Aquaman's good, and I think these films are getting better, and you should just give it another shot because you gave the other ones another shot. So go watch it, critics. Go watch it.
All right, fanboys, you've seen a lot of these DC movies and they just don't do, the DC universe justice. I don't know that much about Shazam. This is an even less important superhero than they normally do. It doesn't even carry the weight or, the kind of star power. Zachary Levi's cool. I think he's funny, but, he doesn't have that same star power. He's not Jason Momoa charismatic or Gal Gadot gorgeous. Okay. So, you're going to watch maybe a B, C-list actor kind of put on a silly looking suit and have a superhero that has kind of generic powers. All right, off to the ratings, Jay.
Off to the ratings. Going into this movie, I had the lowest expectations based off the trailer, based off his ridiculous ugly suit. I was not happy with. But coming out this theater, it's gonna put me at a love. I absolutely love this movie. It blew me out the water. I did not think this was gonna be good at all. And they just hit it. They hit it. I think that's even a higher rating for Aquaman for me. But I really loved it. I really enjoyed it. It was funny. And it was not dark at all. And you guys could do it. I'm so happy for DC. Shazam was a hit for me. I loved it.
All right, surprise! I actually really like this movie. I was giving it shit because I'm the critic, but surprise, I really, really like this movie. I'm actually gonna go with amazed. I think it going in with really low expectations helped a lot because seeing the suit and the trailers look really dumb. And I went in and I was like, oh, this is pretty funny. oh, you know what? The story's really good, and Zachary Levi's knocking it out of the park. Okay, so there were some genuine criticisms that I have, like the kid. I mean, you're always hit or miss with the kids. The kids are, they're okay.
Yeah.
Could be worse. Could be better. But in general, the story, they killed it. The bad guy was a little generic, but at the end, I came out amazed that I enjoyed a DC movie and it wasn't dark and gritty.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. Tell us what you thought about the movie and our review. And we'll see you next week for
Hellboy.
Hellboy?
Hellboy.
No way.
Hellboy.